right, what is the relevance of this topic? Because, in these 4 months, I could reach out to 15,000 plus teachers, and they express a lot many concerns. And here are the common concerns expressed by most teachers. What they say is classroom interaction is missing, online teaching, class engagement is missing, involvement of students is missing, and class participation, and we're not able to manage the class. So these are some common concerns expressed by most teachers. And now I'm going to share some ideas that I experimented with, which I've been very successful with. And I'm going to share some of the tools that are useful to manage class, to improve interaction, to enhance class engagement and involvement of students, and how can we effectively manage class. It's very simple tools. I'm taking very, very simple technology. Why? Because as most of us are from India, the availability of technology, concerns, connectivity problems, and all that. So I've chosen simplest things possible to handle class effectively. Okay, let me move on to my next slide. Okay, first things first, what is it that we need to do is set class rules. That really goes a long way. And ensure and tell your students that your class participation becomes part of the assessment. And always, whatever class you're trying to take, have a list of this class ready, okay? Either in soft form or on a scribbling pad. And you have to get more organized with your teaching and always have plan B, okay? Just now we have seen how there was a small little struggle to, with audibility, right? And in any, the best tool I would say to have an amazing interaction in class is chat, okay? The chat option in any platform, be it Zoom, be it Google Classroom, be it anything, the least rated tool is chat, but I must say chat is the most effective thing. What I do, okay? I would say, Mr. Swamy, X, Y, Z, okay, all of a sudden, when I start lesson, once in a while, okay, I ask, Mr. Swamy, can you type for me? Mr. Akhil, can you type for me? Mr. Jwala, can you respond to this answer? Okay, and this is how I keep my students alert. And second thing is, am I audible? Any problem? Okay, all right. And what I also do is, I set time for every task given. I would say, guys, I want to see 10 responses, or I am very specific with my expectation. I expect at least 10 words, okay? I expect 10 points. And I set time and I get the response, okay? And if someone is not responding, I call them and ask them, okay, I'm not able to hear, because you can't expect video or audio feedback. You don't know in what situation they are in. They're at home and it might be very uncomfortable for other family members. So chat is the best option. And another next beautiful thing, the go-to tool to keep the class engaged, either for brainstorming, is for concept checking, or is for ideating. The best, I must say, and the simplest tool is Answer Garden. I'll show you how it works. If I'll be switching between a browser and the presentation. I'll take a minute. And if you look at this, as a teacher, what I do, Answer Garden CH, this is what I do. And I ask my students to, this is teacher's view, and this is student's view, answergarden.ch, okay? And if any one of you is comfortable, kindly participate, okay, if you are comfortable. Okay, open Answer Garden CH in a different tab. And as a teacher, what I do, you're not doing this as a student. Okay, as a student, as a teacher, I use this plus option. And what students do is they choose the search option. Okay, hope I'm clear up to now. And here what I do, I ask, how was your day? This is only an example, I know, sorry. And this is my question. And what I do as a teacher, I can go down. You have 4 modes, okay? You explore them. And here 20 characters, 40 characters, I made that. You have a security option that's not required now. Okay, you can also send an email. You can use it in your board meetings as well. You can use in your departmental meetings as well. And you can also make it your class tool. Now, I can put it for 1 hour, okay, 1 week, and I say create. As I click create, I get a code here. I get a code here in the browser itself, and I share that with my students in the chat box. And what they do as a student, they put their code here. The code is 1369817, and the URL is answergarden.ch. Okay, once my students enter this code and submit it, they have the option to answer here. So you understand? See, for example, I am keeping my students engaged. My students are participating, but at the same time, a change is always good. And in the chat, the visibility is not that great. All said and done, it's a very useful tool. But if though I think we have 14 participants or 15 participants, if possible, try to enter Answer Garden CH and use the code 1369817 and see your responses here in a beautiful form. And I can share this. I can download it and I can share it in the class WhatsApp group. And that's how I can keep my class really engaged with a purpose. And the purpose is, look at this. For brainstorming, I can start, ask my students to brainstorm on something, on a topic. Or yesterday I have given my students a video clip or a text, and I want to know how much of it did students learn from that. Now, look at this. What is this simple tool used for? You see, it doesn't require a lot of technical knowledge, okay? I gave you some task and I want you to, give me feedback on that so that I can take my next lesson from there, okay? You can all start to ideate on something. Say, I gave you some work and you have to work on that. Students can do this. It is that simple and interesting. Now, this is the best as of now I have come across, if I may say, one of the best tools. You don't have to search for any tool if you have this. This is Nearpod. And what can you do with the Nearpod is you can administer a poll, you can have varied activities, you can have quizzes, you can have open-ended questions, fill in the blanks. These may look very simple, okay? All these types of activities may look simple when I share, but when you explore, you will understand the ease of use I'm talking about, okay? I take only one quiz and one fill in the blanks aspect and try to explain you, and there you will understand, okay? If it's a quiz, you don't feel that you're being tested. You don't feel as a student you're being assessed. It's like a game, okay? It pushes you, it encourages you, And it's like, you know, you become a child. I'm telling you, I was a participant in a course and the instructor used Nearpod, and there were 60 very senior teachers, you know, who are close to retirement as well, but the participation in the course was fantastic. So hope you understand. You know, you are given an avatar, everyone is given an avatar and everyone runs. It is fun-filled learning. You don't know you're learning, but you know, you have learned a lot. And let me talk about fill in the blanks option. Okay, this feature, what it does, you put a text in the given area of Nearpod, and you select the words that you want to create blank with. And what happens? A blank is created. And when student sees your work, all those that you have selected, you didn't put a blank. You just selected in the text and it becomes a blank. You know, words are not sufficient to explain it. You have to go explore it. It's not time, because I shall also see, if you look at, there is a link here. I would be sharing this presentation with all of you. And you go there, you have a 1 hour session on what are the various features and how to use. And free version has certain limitations, yes, but the thing is, we have to be resourceful. We have to understand how to make the most of the free version. Let me tell you, have 3 or 4 email IDs, and for each class, use 1 email ID, and that might work. Okay, and also your course content, whatever the course content you create, you delete after a month or so, so that you have some space for the next activities or next lessons. But if you can afford it, or if your school management or college management is kind enough to, you know, buy a subscription for the whole school, there's nothing like it. Now, I don't know how many of you have used Kahoot. Kahoot is impeccable. Again, gamified learning. I don't know this text where from it is, but the thing is, Kahoot is a beautiful tool. So is quizzes and Quizlet. These are formative assessment, concept checking. See, for example, what happens with, by now, I don't know how much time it is that we've begun. For me, it's a feel like I'm speaking to a wall. Okay, for you, I don't know how you're feeling, but after every 5 minutes, because time is a constraint, I'm not doing activities. And the format in which this is done is also different, because the kind of audience, later audience, is different. Hence, we felt, you know, we keep it a monologue. So Quizlet, I don't know how many of you used it. Quizzes, okay, these are quite engaging tools. After a 5 or 10 minutes lecture, after you complete a concept, okay, if you administer a Quizlet, if you administer quizzes, or you do a Kahoot, you know, you get a clear idea how much your students understood, and your student, it's a recapitulation for your students as well. These are amazing tools. Kindly explore. And this is another very useful tool. We'll decide, we will quickly do this, and wheel of names we shall do, and I'll tell you how I use it for my class. Okay, we need to change, we need to vary activities, we need to vary tasks. Between tasks, have one of these tools. You don't need anything, you don't need to have high technical knowledge. All you need to do, have is ability to browse internet, and you can use these tools. Let me show you. Okay. As a teacher, what you do, wheel of names, I take this, okay. And these were the participants of my yesterday's session from Tirupati. These were all teachers. And what I did from Google Form, I copied, pasted those names here. That's it. I have a wheel created here with all their names. And now I open another browser. This is for task, okay? Now I use wheel decide, okay? And look at this, say, okay, it's working, fantastic. Now look at this. You are my students, okay, you are, and I'm your teacher, and I do that. Okay. Imagine if your name pops up like that. How would you feel? As an adult, if you feel so, think of students. They really love it, I'm telling you. Rather than me asking, Shravan Kumar Yadav, talk for a minute about, okay, read a book. That's so, dull. That's so, okay. But now I took that name, okay, and I am asking you to speak about this. How you feel when you read a book, okay? How do you feel, okay? You are engaged as a student. Hope you understood. I use two wheels, okay, one for their names and one for the, I can remove this, and this is my second tool. If you intersperse these engaging activities in your class every 10 minutes, 15 minutes, okay, and this is my next task. What, instead of, this is already there, but what I can do is, look at this. Here I put, how was the session? And what did you eat? Okay. And my favorite, my favorite actor, my favorite book, bear with my spelling. Okay, and I say, apply wheel change. It is this simple. And all my topics are here. Okay, my favorite book. And here, see, every time I choose a name, I remove the name. When I remove the name so that, the same name is not repeated. And this is how, what I do. Otherwise also, I choose 10 or 15 names so that everyone gets a chance to participate and yet everyone feels comfortable, okay? There is this element of surprise, fun in this, okay? Hope you understood. For your information, I must tell that we went to the next level of wheel decide and our speaking test, okay? In one wheel, you can embed a question, not name. Name will be here, and here, question, okay? In this question, we take 10 topics, and for each topic, we have 10 or 15 questions. And for each question, we have 2 or 3 follow-up questions. Hope you understand. You have to explore that, okay? It's easier. So during the exam speaking test, what we do, we choose a name and we go to the chapter that we are testing our students, or the unit. And from that unit, we again click, we get a question. And from that question, if the student is not able to respond, we ask follow-up questions. Hope you understand. And another beautiful thing about this is you don't need internet. Okay, you can save it. You can save it as a web page, and you can use it. You can share it with your friends, other teachers. You understand collaboration. We need to help each other in these difficult times. Hope I made it clear how to use We'll Decide. Now, okay. Dr. Swamy, please alert me if I'm overshooting my time. Padlet. At least in this one, kindly participate, because as you have seen, in Nearpod, it has 11 features, right? This is one amazing, simple tool, okay, Padlet. Here, I will show you how to do that. Again, if you subscribe to, sky is the limit. If you don't subscribe to it, but a free version of it, you can, at a time, you can have 3 Padlets, okay? After every session, you can delete one and create space for yourself. Or use 3 or 4 email IDs of yours and have 3 or 4 accounts and have one for each class and use it efficiently and effectively. Now, you can use Padlet in 30 different ways as a teacher. In my slide, Dr. Swamy might be sharing this with you. There is this URL where you get to learn, and I'm taking you straight to the Padlet. One second. Look at this. That's the Padlet. And here, on the presentation, you have a link, okay? Say I'm your class teacher. This is created 7 hours back. Your feedback and questions. Look at this. I will also try to, I'm not sharing, don't worry. Give me a second. In the chat box, I'm sharing this link. You can all participate by just clicking this so that you understand how effective it is. I'm not sharing anything, don't worry. In the chat box, please check. Okay. In the chat box, I sent you a link. Please join this so that you understand how it works. Now I'm sharing the screen. Okay. Look at this. If someone of you could join, you would see yourselves on this. As a student, what you would do is you will click on this. Okay. Say my name and the title. I gave you some task. I gave you some project. You write the title. And what can you do with this? Look at this. Just one simple tool. You can upload a file. You can add a link. You can search. Say, as a student, you're doing some project. You have to do some search. You can see, for example, you have done some work and you have to add some snaps of your work. You can do that. Or you did some work and you captured it on a video. You can add that full. You can, as a student, what are the possibilities? As a teacher, what are the possibilities? That's what we need to look at. Okay. You can record the screen. You can draw. Say, I gave you a task on go to Charminar and talk about it. You tag this place, okay? You tag this place and you do all the about tasks, okay? And can you imagine, okay, how interesting it's going to be, how engaging it's going to be. And say, you as a student have done so much work and I as a teacher can comment on your work. your other students, the classmates of this student can also comment on this work. And you have a lot of control on this. You can also control abusive language and everything just with a click. Isn't it amazing? Do we really need a lot of technical knowledge to have a class engaging? That's a question. No, we don't need. Till now, whatever the tools I have used, okay, be it chat room, be it, what can you quickly respond? Okay, I referred to Quizlet, quizzes, I referred to Nearpod. These tools, they don't need a lot of technical knowledge, but yet, your class can be very, very engaging. Let me stop sharing this and let me go back to my presentation. Has someone joined the Nearpod? If you have joined the Nearpod, you will see your work. If someone of you have joined, okay, probably none could, not any. Oh, there you are. You see, highly interesting, nice session. Sunil, look at this. Dr. K. Uganda, fantastic. Suvarna, yes, we are here. Oh, Suvarna, ma'am, good that you are there. And Uganda, my very good friend, is there. Fantastic. Wow, that's amazing. Good you're all here. Okay. You look at this. Isn't that interesting? I can write comment. I can make my comment here. And you can try to add a voice. Someone of you can add a voice. Okay, Philippines, someone from Philippines, fantastic. Look at this. Isn't it interesting? Now, let's go ahead with my presentation. Okay, hope all of you understood. Right, Padlet, we have done. In Nearpod, collaborate is what Padlet does is one feature in Nearpod that will do all of this. But say you're comfortable with Padlet, go ahead with it. You don't have to subscribe to or you don't have to use Nearpod. But I must say, with one presentation tool and with Nearpod, you can have an engaging class. Okay. How many of you have ever used something called webquests? Okay, webquests again is an amazing, simple to use tool for projects. You can use this from school students to PG students. Okay, how it is? Here you go. I stop sharing my presentation and I take you to a webquest. Thank you so much for your active participation. You're all wonderful. Now, webquests, just type this. Okay. Now look at this. Quest Garden search. This is for you to give you an idea how a web quest works. Okay. Let's look at this. Okay. Give me a second. You will see. Let's put science. Okay. You have these quests there. You see how many are there. Okay. You can create, okay, to any level. To any level. Let us see if it works. Yes. Look at this. This is a small project given by someone. You don't have to do anything as a teacher, but you will guide them. You keep guiding your students. Introduction. Okay. Aliens is the topic. Science fiction or science faction. Look at that. That's an introduction. What is the task? Here, there, the task is. How beautiful it is, you see. And the process. Okay. Evaluation. Okay. Conclusion. Credits. Okay. See, if you ask your students to do it on a paper or on a Google Doc and submit it, that's different. But asking your students to do something on a web quest is different. Okay, you see how engaging things can be and how sequenced, okay, how the critical thinking of your students could be enhanced, how they can participate as a group, they can carry out projects on their own. See, you have to, this can be assessment. This can be assessment, need not be paper and pen based, need not be a Google Doc. Okay, Google Doc is also amazing. But the thing is, as you change activity for each unit, your students' interest levels will increase, okay? And the complexity of the activity will also not be felt, okay? I stopped sharing that. Hope you understood. You need to explore, okay? I'm only here to tell you how much is the possibility, okay? Now, after WebQuest, this is what I do. Let's look at that. Let me go back to my presentation. Okay. Thank you. Hope you are able to see. Okay. Look at this. This may look like, you know, a two-dimensional picture. Most of you might be using Google Maps, but how to use a Google Map for learning, okay? This simple image, that is where I teach. That's the satellite image of my university. That's huge, okay? It looks so small though, okay? And this is a place where I stay, okay? And I share my experience with my students and then tell them, okay, this is where I stay, okay? And this is where my office is, okay? This is where the deanship that I work with is, okay? And I put the language into use. Look at this. There are two ways for me to reach to my office from my place, okay, which takes 11 minutes. And the distance is 5.6 kilometers. Again, I have an alternative route, which is again the same distance, but the time taken by this is this. Rather than me giving a picture, if I ask my students to, you know, tell them, how do you come from your home to university? Can you do a write-up on that? Okay. The scope is huge to teach language, to improve their writing skills, to give them various items in English grammar, okay? And yet, it is so personal. Your student feels it. See, if you ask me to write about myself, my experience, I do better than I ask you to write about you, the third person or second person, isn't it? So, see the possibilities. And I ask you, can you tell something about a popular restaurant in town? Okay, I can ask, what are some of the interesting places in Al-Karj? Okay, how do you reach all these places? These are various questions that I can ask, and I can elicit tremendous response, and I must say I never failed. These are all what I tried and tested, and I'm sharing with you, okay? Now, look at this. People may think you need a tool to manage a class. I don't need a tool to manage my class. I don't need something big to control my class, even online. What I do is, quickly I share this text whatsoever, okay, which I picked. I share on the group. I have a WhatsApp group with all my classes, but I share this text with 4 or 5 of my students in a class on a given day, okay? And what I do is, I have a list of my students who I shared this text with. The text I shared with, okay, is there, and I changed the text for my students who I shared with. See, I changed the text for those 5 students, Friday as Saturday, WHO as ILO, and I changed this name, okay? I changed 4 or 5 details from this in the text I shared with my 5 students of the class. And I have the list of these students with me. What I do, okay, Jwala, may I ask you to read the text I shared with? And I tell the class, be ready, your friend is reading something, and I want every one of you to type the words that are missing or that are wrong. And Jwala would start reading the text that I sent him on his personal message, okay, on his personal chat. And he would be reading something different from this, okay? And my student, that's how I grab the attention, to grab the attention back after a few minutes of class. Hope you got the concept. If you haven't, just ask me during the QA session. Do make a note, okay? I will be there for clarification. Hope you got. See, a simple text. With a simple text, you can manage a class, okay? But the thing is, if your first things are correct, if you get your first things right, okay, you don't have to be authoritative, you don't have to be policing, but all this can be done in a very fun way, okay? I don't know, it got frozen for some time. Okay. Here some text is missing, with which I shared with Dr. Swamy. Okay, this is YouTube series. See, for example, most of us have, you don't have to do everything. You can flip your class, okay? You have some content, that's what content cannot be displayed. This is what, actually in my actual presentation, it's visible, but all these beautiful pictures are added by Dr. Swamy. He changed my presentation. Otherwise, my presentation would be simple, white and black, okay? YouTube series to learn English. There are a lot many. I can share those details during the QA session. You don't have to do as a teacher. On a given topic, you can share the link with your students as homework to go through, and the follow-up can be done in the next class. Or you can ask your students to, this is all about how to speak English, how to enhance one's spoken language. Very useful link, I think Dr. Swamy would share with all the participants who are there, all right? And radio is really an effective tool. I don't know how many of you have News on Air, Prasar Bharati app on your phones. I must say, though I live in Saudi Arabia, I must say I'm always on this, okay? Probably one of the best apps you can have on your phone, News on Air by All India Radio, fantastic one. And npr.org, no, the list is endless. But the thing is, for students, as I taught in India as well, I know the concerns that we have, the challenges our students have. You don't have to teach everything. And I also strongly believe that students learn very little from our classes, but the thing is how you inspire them to continue that learning in their personal time and space is what matters most. Only thing is you have to ignite that spirit in them to learn, okay? Beautiful. Now, these are simple tools, workaroo.com, and okay, I'll take you through workaroo.com. Just look at this and you will understand how simple a tool you as a teacher can use it, and how your students can benefit from it. I'll show you. Look at that. All right. And what are the benefits I'll discuss. Look at that, workaroo.com. Hope my browser is visible. Okay.
Yes,
Look
sir.
at this.
Yes,
Look
it's
at this.
visible, sir.
Look at this very simple, amazing web app. And here, all of you try to open, if possible, open for yourselves, workaroo.com. You see this cute little mic open, and whatever I am speaking is getting recorded on it. And you can give this as a speaking test, or speaking practice, or you can give your students a task. You give them a text or you give them a video, okay? And ask them to talk about it. As they watch, they talk about it. Or you ask your students to give a book review, okay? Or you ask your students to talk about their favorite restaurant or a favorite place or a favorite person, okay? They talk about it, and now you see, look at this. It's recorded. And speaking is getting recorded on it. Look at that. Now I tested. I can share on WhatsApp. I can put it on something. So how I use it with my students. See, if they share an audio file on WhatsApp group, it's going to consume your phone space and their phone space. It also consumes a lot of data, isn't it? So just simply copy this. See, I'm the student, I would say, I'm Sasidhar of so-and-so section, and I'm talking about so-and-so book, or I'm talking about, so that gets easy for me to identify who I received it from. Or I can also begin with, I'm Sasidhar with roll number da da da, and I begin my task. You understand? As a student, this is the scope. As a teacher, okay, during pandemic times, it's very difficult. Say you have to give feedback on writing of your student, on a piece of writing of your student, okay? What you do, you open this, write a write-up sent by your student and embed this. And embed, you give a feedback, okay? You record your voice, okay? And put it on the same Google Doc that is shared by your student, and your student will listen to first paragraph, what is missing, second paragraph, you know, I give my commentary on this, okay? You understand? And sky is the limit for a resourceful teacher, as simple as that. Hope you understand, okay? I move to my next tool, okay? That is, why were you? YouGlish. Okay, to improve pronunciation of your students. Look at that. What all you can learn from this beautiful tool, web app, is, if you are interested in, you can learn Arabic, Chinese, Dutch, French, okay? You see unlimited scope. And I don't know, see, English is not our mother tongue. And so for example, I don't know how to pronounce, this word, okay? I gave this website to my students, and look at that.
My entertainment.
Look at that. See, what YouGlish does is, it picks the word from all the available YouTube videos. It found 8,057 videos. This is just the first one, where the student will learn how to pronounce this word and in different contexts. Look at this, I'll do 2 or 3.
And my well-intentioned charitable contributions. My entertainment and my well-intentioned my entertainment and
not just applicable to the entertainment industry, it's applicable not just applicable to the entertainment industry, not just applicable to the entertainment industry.
My primary source for entertainment and performance.
Look at this. If you have Oxford Dictionary or Cambridge Dictionary, you have limited pronunciation available, 1 or 2. But here, you see speakers from across the globe. Each one has a different, okay, way of saying a word. And someone is taking TOEFL, someone is taking IELTS. Their listening skills, in order to enhance their listening skills, when you have such a huge repertoire of material available, You see, what's the limit? Sky is the limit, isn't it? Hope you all got it. Now, see 12,445 contacts or videos that...
To that example and inspiration when we're back. To that example and inspiration when we're back here.
That little snowball packed all the inspiration I needed to both try to...
Hope you got it. And now I move to my presentation. Hope you found that useful. Okay. Any questions? I'm not looking at the chat box. Please excuse me, because Dr. Swamy, I will take clues from you. When I should stop, please let me know, okay? Now, another amazing tool is Newsella. If you have a subscription, this is very good. From school to PG, anything. You can create so many tasks with Newsella, okay? How to use Newsella, you have to explore. This is to enhance reading. Say, for example, what it does, I'm trying to tell you. Newsella picks news articles on a given topic from all news portals. And you want to customize this according to levels. People with the teaching English background know what I mean by levels, okay? B1, C1, A1, stuff like that, okay? You choose the level and that text would be converted with its algorithm, okay, to a particular level. See, for example, I take a news article from the Hindu. Some students may find it difficult, okay? What I can do with the Newsella is I can make this version simpler, yet I can get the summary of it in such a way that it is presentable to my students, and I can give lot many tasks on that, okay? And I can share this with my students and they will work on it. Newsella is something very interesting. And Book Creator is one more thing. See, for example, you ask your students to write on Google Docs, yet sometimes it's a bit boring. But you ask your students small little work, and you ask your students to do use Book Creator and ask them to collaborate with their friends, and whatever they are writing in a Google Doc, ask them to present in a Book Creator. It is like an electronic book. It's like a Kindle book. You know, you can flip the page, you can read it, you can embed audio, you can embed pictures in it. And looking at an electronic book is a different experience altogether than looking at a Google Doc project, isn't it? So Book Creator, all of you, I expect you to explore, because time is not sufficient for you to give an orientation on each one of them that I'm discussing. But the thing is, it's all possible, okay? This video, I think, is missing as Dr. Swamy changed the presentation that I shared with. Virtual reality, wherever it is possible, use virtual reality. And it's all possible. Indians can do wonderful things, I know. I don't expect people to buy those very expensive VR headsets. We can do with cardboard as well, right? And follow these instructions, and I'm telling you, your virtual tours are going to be very interesting. And what I'm trying to say with all those tools is motivation and engagement. If they are there, learning happens. Personalization, you have seen how I can personalize experience of your students. You know, you ask your students about everything about them and create a task based on your students' experiences that is personalizing. Also give timely feedback. See, if you are expected to give a written feedback, it might take a lot of time to your student. But with Workaroo, you can give a timely feedback with little of your time, isn't it? You can, with Padlet, with there are a lot many collaborative tools though, okay? On Nearpod, you can ask your students to collaborate, isn't it? Learning must be authentic, real life, isn't it? I don't say your class must be fully online. You can flip, okay? You pace your lesson in such a way, half of your content is delivered online to your students for them to explore before coming to class, and your actual learning or the interactions must take place online rather than, don't expect 100% to be online. And let learning be experiential rather than, listening to project-based. Now, Flipgrid is an amazing tool you have to explore. Let me tell you, quite recently, an organization in India conducted interviews for teachers with Flipgrid, for your information, I'm telling you, because for them to screen teachers, with the hordes of applications, they cannot do that, right? So what they did, the first and second round, they did on Flipgrid. See, for the position of principal, for the position of English teacher, for position of math teacher, they created different links on Flipgrid. The Flipgrid link is received by the candidate, and he presents his candidature through a video, and the screening committee screens it. How easy it is, isn't it? How much time, resources are saved. And you can use it for your class. You can use it for various tasks of related to your content, related to your course. Sky's the limit. And this is more important as teachers. You need to know some technology, and you need to have more content knowledge. You need to know the pedagogical knowledge, okay? If you have content, that's not sufficient. If you have technology knowledge, that's not sufficient. You should know how something is learned, okay? How tasks can be. The task must be very authentic. Task must be interesting. Task must be specific, and task must give that autonomy for the learner, and task must be social. And understand that technology is just a tool, and the most important one is basically the teacher. It is you. Technology can never, ever replace the teacher, but technology can really enhance your teaching. Only thing is you should adopt it and, use it as it's supposed to be, okay? Every time we teach, we need to start with the lesson plan, okay? And then start thinking what might be helpful to make our lesson successful. At the same time, facilitate students' learning. We also need to keep asking, is this activity actually relevant? Are we doing an activity for our doing sake, or does this activity really help your student learn something? Okay, that is more important, and modify your activities accordingly. And that is my Twitter handle, and that's my email ID. If you have any questions, do get in touch with. Hope I'm within time.